Hello everyone, my name is Rolly. Today I want to talk about something we all hate. Failure. Yeah, that thing that makes you feel like complete garbage, like maybe you're not good enough. But here's the twist. What if I told you failing is actually the best teacher that you will ever have? Think about it. Every single time you mess up, whether it's at school, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's chasing a dream, it's like life handing you a lesson. And the cool part about it, success. Success can't teach you half as much. Wins feel good, yeah, but they don't really make you feel better. Fails do. Stick with me now. I'm about to break it down. Alright. So, we kind of create this fear of failing. And let's be real, every single one of us is scared of failing. You don't want to look stupid in front of your friends. And I get that. You don't want to get a bad grade. You don't want to mess up the thing that you've been working on for weeks. Well, that's fear. It's like an invisible wall saying, oh, don't even try. It's way too risky. And honestly, that wall is completely lying to you. Every single time you push through it, fail, and get back up, you're leveling up in ways no victory ever could. I want you to think about a time when you failed at something. Say, a test, or you lost in a sports game, or you had a big project and you just completely woofed it, you know? It sucks, right? But when you reflect, you realize you learned something you wouldn't have otherwise learned if you didn't fail. And maybe it's patience. You worked so hard at it, but now you know you have all the tools to do it again. So maybe it's strategy. Maybe even how to how to handle disappointment. And things like those, lessons like those, they stick with us for the rest of our lives. And that kind of creates the question of, what does failing actually teach you? So let's break it down. Like I said before, patience. When you fail, you learn that rushing towards something, anything, does not work. You gotta slow it down. Think. Plan your moves. That's patience. It's something you will carry on in every single part of your life. It is a necessity for every single part of your life. And without it, you won't be able to function. Problem solving. Failure forces you to think differently. If your plans fail, you can't just give up. You have to find another way. And that's how people grow smarter, grow stronger, and even more creative. And it kind of builds this sort of resilience. Every single fail is a mini boot camp for your mind. And if it happens enough times, you learn to bounce back, to keep going, even when it hurts. And you start to kind of realize, one, failure doesn't define you, but also kind of realize it's okay, I can do this. And how you respond to things kind of defines who you are, how you react to these situations you get put into creates kind of who you are, you know? And if you're constantly failing and you're just constantly beating yourself up opposed to trying to learn, then you're not going to get anywhere. And it kind of creates this wave of creativity. Failures push you to try new approaches, you know? If the first idea doesn't work, you come up with something better, something more clever, something more unique. Some of the greatest inventions and creations came from people who just kept failing over and over and over again until they got it. And it's exactly the same thing. It works the same way. You will not be able to grow without failing first. And now I kind of wanted to share a more personal story. There was a time I really messed up with someone I cared about. And I kind of sort of just thought, oh, I can wing it. Like, I didn't really think through my words or actions. And obviously that blew up in my face. But rightfully so. And it kind of made me feel like I'd lost everything. But looking back, when that failed, it taught me more about patience and empathy and how to really listen than anything at all I'd ever learned from doing things the right way. And it sucked a lot in the moment. But now I can see it is one of the most valuable lessons I've ever had. And that's the thing. That's the exact type of thing I'm trying to tell you. Failure strings in the moment, but it kind of builds you up for the future. It's like life is constantly testing you, and every single time you fail, it's like a trial, but every time you grow from it, you level up in ways you might not even fully realize at first. But in the long run, will help you, one, become a better human, and two, be able to understand your emotions in a deeper level. So now you might be thinking, okay, failure, cool. But how do you actually deal with it, you know? And here's the thing. Embracing failure isn't about liking it at all. It's more about accepting it and kind of learning from it. Like using it to grow. And first off, you should always reflect when something goes wrong, you can't just brush it off. I want you to ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do differently next time? And a reflection like that is just pure gold and will kind of form this pattern, and you'll continue to do it and think of things on a deeper level. And I don't want you to take it personally. Failing does not mean you are a failure. Failing does not mean that you are a failure. It just means you are trying, you're learning, you're growing. And every single person who has failed, every single person who has done something great has failed so many times. And that's why I want you to keep experimenting. Keep trying new things. In a way, failure is kind of like a signal that you needed to try a new approach. I want you to treat it as a challenge opposed to just a setback. Test, adjust, retry, and that's how we improve fast as well. And I always say this, but it is really important for a lot of things. You have to make sure to celebrate the small wins, even if you are currently in the middle of failure. There are little victories. There's lessons you can learn, there's insights gained, and progress will be made. I want you to recognize those. And those things will keep you motivated and keep you going. Here's the truth. Failing sucks. There's no doubt about it. But every fail, every screw up, every time you feel like giving up, it shapes you into someone stronger, smarter, and more capable. So please, do not fear failure. Do not avoid it. I want you to face it head on. Learn from it. Grow from it. When you finally succeed, you will realize it's not just the win that feels amazing. It is every single thing that you learned along the way. Remember this. Success is great, but failure is where the real lessons live. Thank you guys so much for watching the video all the way through. Again, I'm very appreciative of every single one of you. I hope this video spoke to you in any way. And if you liked it in any way, please send me feedback. I love hearing from y'all. I think that's all I got for y'all today. I just want you to remember that your failure does not define who you are. You are not all the bad things that you do, you know. And I hope none of you guys are letting those things control your entire life. Because I know I do that sometimes. But I want you to remember you are loved, you are cared for. And as always, stay rolly.